Rockfish in the Puget Sound are in trouble. Some species of rockfish, specifically the yellow eye, canary, and bocasio, have so severely declined in abundance that they are now listed under the Endangered Species Act. These declines are caused by a number of stress factors, but overfishing and historical fishing practices are mainly to blame. Rockfish are an ancient and important part of the Puget Sound ecosystem, and without intervention, these rockfish species are likely to be diminished. So how can we recover these rockfish populations and ensure their long-term survival? Here's how. Bycatch is a major concern for rockfish. Anglers targeting species like halibut and Chinook salmon present their gear near the ocean floor to catch these fish, which coincidentally puts their bait in prime rockfish habitat. Rockfish that are brought up from these depths suffer from what's called barotrauma, where their swim bladder expands uncontrollably due to the sudden change in pressure. Fishes that suffer from barotrauma ultimately have little to no chance of survival upon release since they are unable to descend. However, rockfish can be released safely through the use of a fish descending device. The descending device simply lowers the fish back down to where it was caught and allows the swim bladder to repressurize. Currently, no enforcement is in place for the use of fish descenders, but we'd like to change that. All anglers want to see rockfish populations thrive, but if it means shelling out extra cash, the likelihood of participation goes down. Seeing as only 3% of anglers in the Puget Sound use fish descenders, we recommend that all anglers fishing in or around rockfish habitat be required by law to carry an extra rod with a fish descender installed. Next step, educate. Anglers who are aware of the dire situation of rockfish are likely to participate in measures to help the population. We recommend a short educational video be made that provides an overview of the current state of rockfish in the Puget Sound, with additional information on safe handling of rockfish and the proper use of fish descenders. Viewing of this educational clip prior to the purchase of a saltwater license then becomes mandatory in the state of Washington. Finally, we recommend that WDFW and other relevant stakeholders schedule a 5- and 10-year monitoring program to track the response of rockfish populations to these implemented measures. If data suggests that these populations are still decreasing, agencies will consider a more drastic measure, such as marine protective areas or rockfish conservation areas.